Step into the darkness where reality blurs and nightmares come alive. The old house had always given me an uneasy feeling, but it wasn't until we moved into the attic bedroom that things took a sinister turn. My parents brushed off my concerns, chalking it up to typical childhood fears, but I knew there was something lurking in the shadows, something that watched me from the corners of the room. It started with subtle signs, a creaking floorboard, a flicker of movement out of the corner of my eye. But then, one night, I saw it, the clown in the mirror. I woke in the dead of night to the sound of laughter echoing through the darkness. At first, I thought it was just a dream, but as I sat up in bed and rubbed the sleep from my eyes, I saw it, the reflection of a sinister clown figure standing behind me in the mirror. My heart froze in my chest as I stared at the figure, its twisted grin and malevolent eyes leering at me from the glass. I wanted to scream, to run, but I was paralyzed with fear, unable to tear my eyes away from the horrifying sight. And then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the clown vanished, leaving me alone in the darkness. I sat there for what felt like an eternity, my mind reeling with terror and confusion. The next morning, I tried to convince myself that it had all been a dream, a trick of the imagination brought on by the darkness and the creaking of the old house. But deep down, I knew the truth. There was something in that mirror, something dark and malevolent, that wanted to harm me. As the days passed, the encounters with the clown in the mirror became more frequent, more intense. I would wake in the middle of the night to find it standing behind me, its laughter echoing through the empty room. I tried to tell my parents, but they dismissed it as childish nonsense, unwilling to acknowledge the true horror of what was happening. Desperate for answers, I turned to the internet, scouring forums and message boards for any information that could help me understand what was happening. And that's when I stumbled upon the legend of the clown in the mirror, a malevolent entity that preyed on unsuspecting victims, feeding off their fear and torment. According to the legend, the only way to banish the clown was to confront it head-on, to stare into its eyes and show no fear. It sounded like madness, but I was running out of options, and I knew that I had to do something before it was too late. Armed with nothing but my courage and a sense of determination, I waited until nightfall and then approached the mirror, steeling myself for what lay ahead. The laughter echoed through the darkness as I stared into the glass, my heart pounding in my chest. And then, there it was, the clown, its twisted grin widening as it leered at me from the other side. But this time, I refused to back down. I met its gaze with steely resolve, refusing to let it see the fear that gnawed at my insides. For what felt like an eternity, we stood there locked in a silent battle of wills, neither of us willing to give an inch. And then, with a final burst of determination, I reached out and shattered the mirror, banishing the clown back into the darkness from whence it came. As the glass rained down around me, I felt a sense of relief wash over me, knowing that I had finally defeated the sinister entity that had haunted my nightmares for so long. But even as I stood there amidst the broken shards, I couldn't shake the feeling that the clown was still out there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim. And so, as I turned away from the shattered remains of the mirror and made my way back to bed, I knew that the horror was far from over. The clown in the mirror may have been banished for now, but its malevolent presence would haunt me for the rest of my days, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edges of our reality.